Hello there, Internet. MegaMogwai here, and I got another Legends of Runeterra for you guys. Today, it is day 2 of the Shurima expansion, and today we are going to take a chill as we're going to play Lissandra. I've been playing a lot of Lissandra. I just want to let you guys know that I'm putting a lot of work into this expansion's videos, right? Instead of just like throwing out the first deck that I come up with and sharing with you guys, because I see a tendency that I've had in the past with new expansions. I mean, pretty much everybody falls into this category, really, because it's hard to build a solid deck immediately upon expansion release. So I've always had like situations in which my first 1 or 2 decks were just very bad in the grand scheme of things, right? Because I built them too quickly just to make sure that you guys had a video really early on. So this time, I'm taking a more meticulous approach, and I'm actually spending hours and hours on these champions, really trying to figure them out and crack them as best as I can. And I'm very happy with the work that I put in with Lissandra. Even though I played a lot, I've yet to make it to Diamond because I've been like fluctuating between Platinum 3 and 2 throughout this entire playtesting, because I've gone through several different directions with Lissandra. I initially started off with Shadow Isles in a deck with Spectral Matron into the Watcher as a win condition. But it turns out that in this version, I was playing the Ice Thralls, right? Because the reality is I really want to play the Ice Thralls, the Frozen Thralls. I really, by the way, I gotta change the title of the video. It's Frozen Thrall, not Ice Thrall. I just realized. Anyways, going back to what I was saying, like I said, Frozen Thralls are not good in Shadow Isles, Lissandra. Now, because I played so much Lissandra, I've learned a lot about this champion. So in this deck tech, besides explaining this deck, which is what we're going to be doing naturally, I'm also going to give you guys some pointers on Lissandra when it comes to building decks around her yourselves, if you want to try something different from this, right? Because like I said, I've learned a lot playing with her. First of all, Frozen Thrall and the Draklorn Inquisitor, which is an awesome package alongside Lissandra to promote the Frozen Thrall strategy, is unviable outside of Shurima, in my opinion. Through my experience, I've been playing it in a lot of Shadow Isles, and it's just very inconsistent. If you find Frozen Thrall turn 1, fantastic. Turn 1 Frozen Thrall into turn 5 Inquisitor, outstanding. If you don't do that, though, Frozen Thralls end up becoming really bad cards because they are just too damn slow, even against control. Like, even against control decks. The fact is, they come in so late if you play them by like turn 4 or 5 and you don't have Inquisitors to proc them, that even against control decks, they come in so late in the game that your opponent can actually deal with an AA with Overwhelm at that stage. If you're facing Aphelios with Twisted Fate as well, they can just get Gravitumped to death, infinitely. And thus, they're just not reliable. They're not consistent outside of Shurima. Why are they good in Shurima? Because of a very specific, very neat 4-drop right here, the Desert Naturalist. The Desert Naturalist allows us to destroy a landmark, but if it is allied, we can summon a Grumpy Rock Bear. So a lot of the things that we can do with this deck is we can set up an early, if we play turn 1 Frozen Thrall and we have Inquisitor, we want to leave that landmark alone, right? But we can do stuff like turn 3 Lissandra into turn 4 Naturalist, and there we destroy our own Frozen Thrall and we generate a Grumpy Rock Bear in the process. And we have a turn 4, 2-4, and 5-4 generation into turn 5 Trundle potentially, which is a lot of tempo. It is really, really neat, right? It allows us to apply a lot of pressure. There are board states that can be a little bit awkward if they have like numerous 4-attack units. Grumpy Rock Bear can be a little bit halted, but if that's not the case, this unit is going to be pushing a lot of damage early on, and it's fantastic. Desert Naturalist also allows us to have legitimate answers for opposing decks with landmarks. There's a lot of those running around right now, right? Especially with people experimenting with Shurima. So having a 4-drop that can destroy any landmark, for example, in the mirror, she's even better because we can kill the Ice Thralls and we can completely deny the Inquisitor game plan. And overall, she's just really strong in this meta. She gives really solid tempo, makes use out of our Frozen Thralls when we don't have, the right cards to get them going, or the matchup, or the time, rather. And also allows us to answer opposing landmarks as well. So she's just so good here. And that's the main reason why you can justify this Frozen Thrall package with Shurima. And it's very hard to do so outside of it. But there's a lot more that Shurima is providing for this deck besides that. We got a full set of Ice Shard and a full set of Spirit Fire. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say, big shout outs to both Alan Z and Dual Fennel. The first day I was focusing on Azir Hecarim, but I believe Alan was focusing on Lissandra, and he came up with the idea of combining Lissandra with Shurima. I reached out to Dual Fennel because I saw him posting on Twitter about the deck. He optimized it and incorporated Trundle, and I took that list and I tweaked it and made my own version of it. But the shout outs go to them. Like, they came up with this deck idea, not me. You know, I'm not as fast as a deck builder. I spent a lot of time on Hecarim, and you know, I felt like when I was playing Lissandra, because she's so difficult to crack, like I felt like I was a little bit, you know, behind in that sense. So yeah, props to them for the deck concept. And like I was saying, Ice Shard and Spiritfire go really well together, because we can stack them. And Spiritfire is outstanding against aggressive decks, you know, may it be discard aggro, Twisted Fate, Fizz. This card is outstanding against Twisted Fate, Fizz. And alongside Ice Shard, we can clear units with 3 health as well. I really, really like this. It can't be countered because it's burst speed, which makes up for its high price. And you can play this as early as turn 4 if you carry over your spell mana, which gives us just enough defense for spread out swarmy tactics, as the rest of our deck is comprised of ways to, you know, benefit from off of our landmark. Good turn 2 to 3 plays with Lissandra, and then Aspiring Chronomancer to draw into the right cards for the matchup. Avernus Sentry to cycle through our deck. Avernus Sentry dying to Ice Shard is actually good, because if we level up Lissandra in the late game, we can actually utilize these sentries to just, you know, fodder them off in order to cycle through our deck and find the right pieces. We're also playing a couple of Rite of Calling, which we can utilize on Sentry or Aspiring Chronomancer to search for Lissandra, as finding Lissandra is really important in this deck, as one of our win conditions is the Watcher, which we will be generating once we level her up. And the reason why we're playing Trundle with Lissandra, in case you're wondering, instead of something like Talia, is because Trundle generates us Ice Pillars. And Ice Pillars allow us to level up Lissandra quicker. And Ice Pillars also allow us to work for a 0 mana Watcher late game as well. We are playing a couple of copies of Ancient Hourglass, which can protect our champions or our key units from removal. And also, if utilized onto the likes of Trundle, we can even use it proactively, if it's safe, to resummon Trundle and therefore generate an extra copy of Ice Pillar, which will go a long way towards leveling up Lissandra. And that's the general consensus behind that. We're also playing a one-off of Revitalizing Roar. In case we are enlightened and we reach a point in which we leveled up Lissandra, we have the Watcher in hand. We can turn the Watcher into 0 mana and try to win the game that way. A couple of Rite of Negations allow us to work for this Watcher late game and be able to counter opposing removal if we're facing Shadow Owls, for example, amongst other things. And Three Sisters is a card that I gotta give a big shout outs to, because I think this card is a must, a staple for any Freljord deck out there, at least as a 2-of. I could be wrong, but I think it's really that good. It's very flexible, and flexibility in this game is really important. It shows why Twisted Fate is king of champions as of right now. And here we have the ability to remove something, the ability to preserve something and push for damage, and the ability to shut down an attacker as well with Flash Freeze. So very, very neat card that can allow us to dodge a lot of these. There's a lot of atrocity decks running around right now, and Three Sisters is a great way to counter that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the deck list right there. A bit of a long deck tech, but I had a lot to say. I'm explaining a lot of these cards for the first time, so these deck techs are going to be a little bit longer than usual. Regardless, hope you guys enjoy the gameplay that I got for you today in Platinum rank, as we're trying to, you know, make our way to Diamond and then make our way to Masters. Slowly but steady, we'll be getting there. And man, I'm just loving this expansion. This expansion is the best expansion Runeterra has had, period. Even better than Rising Tides. Let's be honest, Call of the Mountain was kind of trash, but Rising Tides was great, and this is just on another level. I don't know, man. It's just the beginning, and I'm playing like non-stop every day, and I'm like not getting fed up in the slightest. Not the healthiest attitude to have, but I can't stop it. I legitimately can't. I was playing until like 5 in the morning yesterday. My God. I'm gonna stop talking. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the video. Hope you do. Subscribe, leave a like, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys around. All right, here we go. As we're facing off against Pirate Aggro. Can you be any more boring at the release of an expansion than playing Pirate Aggro? My God. I'm going to keep one Spirit Fire, and I'm going to drop, yeah, just this. Spirit Fire can be very useful alongside Ice Shard. The rest of my hand is relatively early game.
I have my orders. This'll shake a fool.
see the Nebastian border from here. There's plenty of killing left.
I'm gonna pass.
Fortune favors the bold. All things grow cold.
Now I play Lissandra.
And I thought there was something good to see.
I'm gonna play Desert Naturalist.
In place. Behind ya.
Ready the torches.
I can block with you here. Let's think about things for a second. So obviously a shit little damage.
You should watch this. Foolish child.
He could have Brother's Bond. If he has Brother's Bond, he kills my Lissandra.
The ice is melting.
Look out for reavers.
Brilliant. Rivet.
The trolls are going to war.
I'm gonna play Trundle on curve here. Not going to attack into a Jack Butcher with 3 attack when he could have another Brother's Bond, for example.
When we're done, I'm taking your head.
Don't make promises you can't keep, little girl.
Let me think here. What's the best way to approach this?
It's hard to get rich. Ready the torches. They look angry. Light the signal fires.
Love ya.
We're gonna go with this. Okay.
I'll knock 'em dead.
Gotta go with the flow. Ages pass, yet I remain.
Could have played the Frozen Thrall, but I don't think I need to right now. Okay, so he may very well be, this only prevents 2 damage. It's just not worth it, right?
I'm gonna make a U-sickle. You're in my kingdom now.
I have this and 11, so if I play this, I don't necessarily need to do it. Can I kill him next turn? Let me think here. Yeah, man. All right.
Bow to your king.
Still like the fact that I don't have a clean attack here. Even if I search for a champion, this doesn't really do much to help me. This also doesn't quite do it.
One snack'll do.
let's just lose the double decimate, right? Well, I don't technically because I have this.
Come on, come on!
Let's do this.
He started without me. I'll knock him dead. Get ready for a beatdown.
Ah! There we go! Got him! Oh my god! Oh man!
You should be honored.
I just realized I was so into that game. I was so concentrated that I think I forgot to narrate during like the last portion. Shit, dude. Fuck, man. I don't think that was good for like a YouTube video. Like I feel like I could have narrated my plays a little bit more, but I mean I don't think there was much to say. Basically what was going through my mind, in case anybody's wondering there, I just forgot to talk, honestly. Like I was so concentrated. Like it's been a while since that happened to me. But yeah, basically like I was, yeah, like you guys saw what I was doing. I was trying to navigate around his lethal, entomb to counter. I countered 3 Noxian Fervors, or 2 or 3. I think I see 3, but maybe 2. Like I counter a lot of them, right? And the Captain Fair and Nerf didn't really matter there because he only had mana for 2 decimates anyways, but negation was super clutch, and I had a very awkward start though. You know, like I struggled a lot at the beginning. I just couldn't get enough momentum, and I couldn't get my Lissandra level up going off. That was a bit of a weird curve. We also, it's important to note that we are foregoing a bit of we are sacrificing a little bit of health gain. Like we could be playing the Tavern Keeper, especially considering how aggressive this meta is, but I'm not facing like burn decks like that. I'm facing like very hyper aggressive decks that go wide, right? And in my experience, the combination of Spirit Fire and Ice Shard is enough to handle those decks. But Pyre Aggro is definitely a deck that would, you know, justify me running something like Tavern Keeper. Hopefully we don't run into more burn decks like that specifically, since we're not really gearing for that. But yeah, more than anything, hopefully I can actually talk during my next game and explain things and stuff. So let's try. Okay. So I would expect this to be a Nasus deck or even Kindred, but instead we're seeing like, I would assume it's like it's a hyper aggressive deck with without they who endure even. I'm gonna keep double Ice Shard because of this, and Versus Entry as well. I have a feeling this deck is super fast paced, so we will react accordingly. I don't know if I'll play Versus Entry on curve actually, because I may want to carry over my spell mana to enable Lissandra on curve. This is very interesting because if we see a Dune,
The Emperor commands, the land obeys. Sand and blood!
beautiful, beautiful. That's why we can double. I could have gone for it immediately, but I was hoping for it to develop something else. I got a little bit greedy. I didn't think he would read into that, but then again, I took a risk, right? Because he could have just passed there and gotten the buff. A good player would have done that. I played a little bit with fire there. We play Lissandra on curve. With this deck, you always want to play Lissandra on curve because of the Frozen Thrall. The earlier you get the Frozen Thrall on the board, the better. This can also enable... He needs a significant attack boost here. I don't think that's possible. Yeah, okay. The earlier we get the Frozen Thrall on the board, the better. Also, in this particular deck, because we're playing the Desert Naturalist, turn 3 Lissandra can mean turn 4 Desert Naturalist into a 5/4, right? So a turn 4 2/4 5/4, which is really neat. I would be playing the Avarosa Sentry here. Just thinking here, is it better for me to hold on a little bit? I really want to get rid of that Bark Beast. Like, I'm getting some really good momentum here. No, you know what? No.
Nothing escapes my watch.
I'm gonna make use of the fact that he's so low on mana to actually set up the Avarosa Sentry. Yeah, we're gonna take that hit. And we're gonna utilize Bride of the Calling. If we pick up Trundle, that's really neat. Nice. If I play Trundle, I don't have my... I'm gonna pass here, actually.
Ice to meet.
I love their interaction. BFFs. I'm gonna play Trundle. I want to have this Ice Shard enabled. Okay. My opponent looking into a strong attack here. I mean, I have Spirit Fire, so as long as I have Spirit Fire, I don't have to like make plays. I just have to do this and just not take any damage. I mean, we're still taking 2 damage, but we're also clearing a good portion of his board. We're, you know, 1 turn closer to this. Okay, we gotta be careful with that, though. We do have the Revitalizing Roar, but we need a unit, right? I mean, we have the Ice Pillar.
We shall pierce their treasonous hearts.
We're gonna pass here. I don't need to attack, just because I already have the Ice Shard to deal with this. So that just puts me in a bit of a precarious position. I think what I need to do is I need to Hourglass here. Because if I Hourglass, I get double Ice Pillar, which can help me work for my win condition. I also have 3 Sisters as well, so I think we're fine in that regard. I'm gonna Hourglass on my Trundle. This will net me another copy of Ice Pillar. As you guys can see, there's more utility to Hourglass. It's really good defensively, like to protect our units from removal in that sense. But it can also be used... I will be freezing this Callista. Double. This is one of the perks of combining with Shurima, man. We get access to these sick plays. It also makes me think, like, Shurima is just a strictly better Ionia, really.
There you are.
There you are. I think we have to wait. We have a total of 9 mana, which means we can enable a lot of things here. I'm gonna go for this.
Feel the power of true ice.
My sweat
We know he has another Blighted Caretaker in hand if he didn't draw it earlier. I mean, that's his 3rd Stalking Shadows, correct? 2, 3.
Pride filled us forever.
Cool story, bro.
Nothing's tougher than a troll.
I will chant here.
Sugar in your boots.
Pillar tap. My kingdom now, motherfucker! Welcome. Welcome to Mogwai land.
Forgetting is death to an immortal.
It's a bit chilly.
It's always cold in the Freljord.
I will remind the world of true power.
My favorite motherfucking animation in the game right now. The best level up animation is Lissandra's. Try to convince me otherwise. You will fail. We got the Revitalizing Roar almost online. I believe that this time around we're just better off going for... We could go for a more powerful attack here, but I do like this a lot. We can go you.
I am inevitable.
You.
The ice is melting.
One smack will do.
Yeah, I like this attack. We're gonna try to prevent the Callista level up right here. We do have answers. We have a lot of answers, man. Beautiful!
You will serve.
Beautiful, baby.
What is darkness to the unseen?
Not spooky at all.
You can see the Debastian
I'm
border.
gonna play the Avarosa Sentry. That's what I really like about the Avarosa Sentry in this deck.
This curse of life is now my penance.
When it is the beginning of our turn, we can utilize the Ice Shard that we generate to kill our Avarosa Sentry to draw a card. Like, it seems like a very minor thing, but it's an extra reason for why I run him as a full set, because he helps out in the late game. He helps me cycle through my deck to find my key pieces. Next turn, we're going Roar, ladies and gentlemen.
You will do as I command.
Protect the true.
Will we attack the Ice Pillars? Okay.
They look angry.
I mean, I'm gonna try to kill him. I'm also gonna do my best to prevent that. Alright, baby. Got him!
Their death serves greater purpose.
The death serves greater purpose. Whenever somebody asks me anything, I'm just gonna go like, their death serves greater purpose. I don't know, I like that line. Alright, so, pretty solid start to the video. This second game, I did in fact talk, so good for me. Leave a like for me talking in my games. Thank you. And now we're gonna be heading on to game 3, so really good showcase right there. Want to explain a little bit like what my thought process was towards the end. As we go for the Revitalizing Roar onto the Watcher, we obviously set him up as 0 mana and threaten to end the game right there. But one of the key things to take into account with the Watcher with this deck is, especially if you're facing decks that can potentially answer him, like for example Shadow Owl's Control, or even the likes of Targan with Aphelios, they can just grab at him infinitely. I really do like using the Watcher as a bit of a pressure point. I haven't expressed that properly. So basically, I have the Watcher in my hand, and I keep my opponent... I make it so that my opponent is constantly having to take it into account and not lose to it So I tried to continue to develop my board in the meanwhile and threaten lethal with my big board state and, you know, with my falling thralls and all that stuff until my opponent overcommits, and then we can go for the Watcher. Like, it's about utilizing the Watcher as like a way to make your opponent play suboptimally and get behind you on the board state. Like, depending on certain matchups, that's the way to approach it, right? So just keep that in mind when playing this sort of deck. This deck is not a deck that I would recommend towards beginners. There's a lot of very key points, a lot of things that aren't really super obvious at first, like, you know, the way you're supposed to use Ancient Hourglass, and many other things, right? But ultimately, I really like it, and the combination of Ice Shard with Spiritfire really does seem like it's enough for the aggressive decks. So without further ado, let's go for that one. Alright, it's all about the burn, I guess. Well, we know what cards we need here. Yep, we're gonna keep one of these, and we're gonna mulligan away everything else in hopes to find the Ice Shard as well. Spiritfire is the most important card here. I could have actually even kept 2 copies of it, but I think 1 is enough. The plan is to utilize it on turn 4, which is where they attack, right? They have the attack token on even turn, so that means they attack on turn 2 and turn 4. Turn 4 will have 4 mana and 3 spell mana, and we'll be utilizing Spiritfire. I'm gonna go with you. Rite of Negation is interesting, but I'm gonna take Thrall Champ.
We can always rely on you to keep us safe.
Honestly, not crazy about any of these.
I turn it like so.
The party
As alright.
It's Drayden, the glorious executioner.
The sunbrock got me good.
Let's take a real close look at the action.
Don't touch it.
That's really deep. We get to clear a good portion of his board. We get to deny his attack, and we just draw into Lissandra.
I will bury the world in ice.
Which is the play we're gonna go for here. It's a great day for reckoning. I could play you, but I'm actually gonna keep this mana behind, because I could have Spiritfire here, or I could even play the Naturalist.
The heart's as big as his biceps.
It's the seed. I think I should be going for the Naturalist here.
And I thought there was something good to see.
This is exactly what I mean that, alright.
Shatter.
You should watch this.
What did he discard? A Vision. Okay, so right now, that's 2-1. I can still do this. We barely take any damage here. Troll Chant's a good card, man. Get knocked the fuck out! Alright, let's go with you. Let's play the Frozen Thrall. The earlier the better, even though at this point, I mean, we're stalling the game pretty well, but we still gotta be wary of Jinx. Jinx is still dangerous.
Plans within plans.
I'm gonna attack just to pass over initiative.
Everything is on the line.
That's completely fine.
Time for the main event.
Come, my warrior. Show me your worth.
I live and die for you alone, my lady.
My lady. I can't say that.
What's the worst that could happen?
Ooh, okay.
Immerse yourself in the unknown.
Alright, so he wants to draw a Draven.
see the Demacian border
I'm
from
gonna play
here.
the Avarosan Sentry just to have something on the board. Tick tock, tick tock. Me too, kiddo. Me too. We got the Spirit Fire. Spirit Fire just... This is like the ultimate counter. No, you will not reckon! You will not reckon, motherfucker.
Let's do this.
I got a little bit intense there, but I just... Yeah, don't interrupt me.
Now we're cooking.
Are you sure about that?
Reavers.
Beautiful. 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 Get him up! I can't. I'm losing my voice. Someone get him up! Okay, that's better. I'm extra obnoxious this episode, aren't I? I just really like this deck. I just love that effect. I love that delayed effect. Oh man, that's a great top deck as well. Yeah. It's just completely shut down, man.
All is still for now.
I wanted the, you know, their deaths are great at purpose. God, this deck is fire. This archetype is really, but I also believe the Shadow Elves version is really strong, but this is the one that utilizes Frozen Thrall, so it is inherently cooler, right? Facts. The ability to combine, like we saw how amazing Desert Naturalist is there, right? Without Desert Naturalist, it's really hard to justify the Frozen Thralls, because if you play them on curve, fantastic. If you don't, they become really, really bad cards. So having the ability to turn them into 5/4s is really important. And it took me a while, but that's the reason why you shouldn't be playing these in Shadow Elves decks. Okay, so we are 35 minutes in. We still got more to go for, so yeah. Round 4. Raton Hackathon. Playing Kindred. This is like, I think I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned this in yesterday's video, but this is what I call the new Karina control. We do have the Desert Naturalist here. How good can this... I mean, this card is really, really strong. This card is just so good in this deck. The moment I draw into like a Frozen Thrall or anything, or even Lissandra, there we go. Like, we have a turn 4, 2/4, 5/4, right? Oh, okay, that's a little spooky. This could be the Commander Ladros OTK thing. Fortunately for us, we do have counters for that sort of strategy. You know, that's what Three Sisters is for. Three Sisters can fish us Entomb, which can be used in case they play Commander Ladros and they get the Dreadway. We can Entomb the Dreadway and survive. Okay, I love these 2 Hourglasses, by the way.
All things grow cold.
We're gonna play Lissandra. Interesting. Normally I wouldn't want to play the Draklorn Inquisitor. Alright, hit me.
If it was important, they should have built it better.
But I think Desert Naturalist is just too good here. We need the immediate value. Let's see what he opts to discard.
Anything else?
Maybe another copy of that. Oh, okay, Blighted Caretaker. I could try to trade this with that. Doesn't feel quite great though, especially when I have Spirit Fire that I can use later down the line. I'm gonna pass here. So here's what's going through my mind right now as I'm looking at my hand, right? I have the ability to play Trundle, and I have double Ancient Hourglass, which means I can work for a very easy level up with Lissandra that goes beyond the Draklorn Inquisitor.
This is gonna be fun.
Do not embarrass me, troll.
Okay, there's the Leech. These 4 attack units are really annoying. My Grumpy Rock Bear is not able to put in the work. But, fortunately, my Trundle is... Never mind! Well, guess I gotta hold back. We have 9 mana, which means we can combine Spirit Fire with Ancient Hourglass. I'm kind of bailing on this Inquisitor plan.
Embrace life.
Expect death.
I mean, am I even worried about... Probably should play this.
Come, my warrior. Show me your worth.
I live and die for you alone, my lady. I'll knock 'em dead.
Attacking with everything. I'm aiming to utilize Spirit Fire offensively.
Foolish.
Warning, take you. Focus on me.
Focus on me!
Take forever.
Behold my work.
This way we can work for killing Kindred as well. Even though we do spend a lot of mana on that play, so our opponent can retaliate with something like a Vengeance, for example. That Kindred is as good as dead. But the beautiful thing is it dies now, or it dies at the end of the round, which means that he can't replace it this turn. Like, the delayed killing with Spirit Fire is low-key really neat. And I'm happy I got to showcase a game in which you can use it offensively, right? On your attack. I mean, I gotta try to... There's no more threat of that, so I'm gonna try to Hourglass here. It's very likely that he has another answer for this, though, but it is what it is. Wow. Wow. That's great. That's great. That means the Lissandra level up is happening. What could he be getting back? You could have a thermogenic beam to kill off Lissandra.
Fast now.
We get the Ice Pillar again. As this could be the turn in which we level up Lissandra. We gotta be wary though. Ruination.
Shall we, dear wolf?
I'm ready, little lamb. It's always cold in the Freljord. You're in my kingdom now.
These Ice Pillars also protect us against Kindred. Very important. I think I can try to go for the kill here. I don't think I need this unit anymore. No.
You will do as I command.
You will do as I command.
Embrace the calm.
I get all tingly inside when I see that animation. Let me show you true power. I can't do an epic female voice. That's the problem. But goddamn it, at least I try. We got the Three Sisters. I am putting quite a bit of value into Frozen Thrall because this is a pretty like control-heavy deck. So in case my opponent has like a really sick, reactive hand and I just cannot get a hit in, I will. I at least have this Frozen Thrall ticking, right? We're going for an open attack. anything that's not Vengeance, we can actually navigate around really easily here. So we can just work for the lethal directly, or we can utilize our Hourglass and build up our Watcher. So it's something I've learned, especially in this variant, because in a Shadow Owls variant that I'm working on, Spectral Matron it's more all in on the Watcher, right? But here, we use the Watcher as, you know, his name is quite fitting because he's just there chilling in our hand, watching our opponent, looking at him, and our opponent's getting nervous, and they always have to keep him in mind, but then our board kills them, right? That's the idea. I love how it's very flavorful how this card works, especially if you play correctly. All right, we represent the lethal right now. We got a nice troll chant here.
Stay back.
All right, show me your plays. That's a Withering Wail. Oh no 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 no. Bam 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 bam. We're happy with this. We have so many answers. Like, now that he's out of Vengeance range, like, it's over. This deck is so... It's so fire, man. I've been, like... I was saying this since day one. If you're playing Freljord, you play Three Sisters. At least as a 2-of. At least. Okay, why is, Alright. We prevent the card draw this way. Oh. I kill my own unit. Oh.
You should be honored.
Okay, that was a stupid. I didn't realize like double Ice Shard killed. Like okay, so that was preventable. Like double Ice Shard and then you go Third Sister into Fury of the North onto the 5/2 and you're good, right? I forgot to do that last part. And thankfully, my opponent was very tilted and forgot to look at the eye and realize that he survived that attack. Oh man, if he's watching this video, I think it's better off not seeing it, because if I saw that I was actually fine and I conceded, that's the worst kind of losses, man. But it happens. Believe me, it happens. That's 49 minutes. I think that's enough. We got to showcase the deck pretty well. We didn't get to play the Watcher, but we had him as an alternate win condition in our hand, and that's what this deck does really well. We've got to showcase the Desert Naturalist really well with this sort of strategy. Spirit Fire put in the work against a lot of the aggressive decks that we ran into. Revitalizing Roar. You know, we were going to win with the Watcher in one game. Going Revitalizing Roar onto it. I like it as a one-up. I also like it, you know, to heal up in certain matchups as well. There is an argument for trying to find some space for Tavern Keeper. Like, you can skim some of these 2-drops if you want. I'm a big fan of Avarice's Sentry, though, because it gives us a little bit of presence early on. I like the fact that it dies to Ice Shard, believe it or not. Like, I like cycling through my deck with it. And I love the Aspiring Chronomancer. I think this is just such a good 2-drop. Like, I really love Predict. You know, I love Scry and Magic. Of course, I'm going to love Predict and Legends of Runeterra. And yeah, man, this deck is dope. I really, this is definitely the best sort of shell for Frozen Thrall as of right now, just because of Desert Naturalist. Hopefully we can find more ways to play this. Maybe there is a way to mix this in Shadow Owls and it having, you know, it making sense, right? I don't know. I'd have to look into it. Regardless, yes, for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video and the games, even that first one in which I barely spoke. Go me. Thank you for the support on the content, all that stuff. Stay tuned for daily Legends of Runeterra content. I will post a new deck every single day with the new champions, of course. And that's all I gotta say. Have a soul day. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.